The new episode of With Jeff is here. I'm Jeff. Thanks for watching. Today I'm really excited because I get to show you some really cool footage from my drone. As you saw on the intro clip and in the current clip right here, I've been flying my drone a bit to practice safety and maneuverability, just trying to get better at droning. Flying a drone is a federal endeavor. It means that the moment you launch a drone into the air, you're operating under federal regulations. In fact, the main two things you must know: one, all drones must be registered with the FAA. And number two, if you plan to use your drone for the benefit of anyone, you must take the unmanned aircraft test so that you're certified to fly commercially. Let me give you a few examples because it doesn't always involve money. Let's say a friend of yours says to you, "Can you go get a photo of my neighborhood so I can hang it on my wall?" If I say yes and go fly my drone over that person's neighborhood and take a photo and then give them the photo, even if I give it to them, it's considered commercial use. Doesn't matter if you got any money for it. Here's another one. If you had a tree branch fall on your house and I wanted to find out if there was any damage, and I just run out back, turn on the drone, fly it up in the air and just take a quick look at the roof, that's also considered commercial use. Where it's not a commercial use is when you're just practicing your maneuverability, you're planning to just fly the drone to get better and just have some fun with it. That's not commercial use. But nowadays, people are getting more and more intent on hiring drone operators, drone pilots, to take their real estate photos, their insurance photos, to cover events, do weddings, stuff like that. So the line is really clear that if you're doing a flight, doing a mission, they call these flights missions, with your drone, and you're doing it for the benefit of someone, that's considered commercial, and you need your license. You need your FAA certification. So why would you get a drone if the rules are so restrictive? Well, it's fun. You can make some money if you have your license. Did I mention? It's fun. So, looking at the scenes of the ice over Hingham Harbor, let's get into the how-to part of this video. I planned my mission today to capture the ice in the harbor and make a video of it. What I have to do to prepare before the mission is pretty much the same as anyone, even if you're doing a recreational flight. First, I have to make sure that my drone is in top fly-in shape. I've got to examine the aircraft and the props the same way a commercial pilot on JetBlue or any airline would examine their plane before they take off. Next, I've got to ensure that all my batteries are charged. Includes batteries for the drone, batteries for the controller, and of course the batteries for my iPad. The third step is to check the current weather and the weather forecast for the time that I plan to be up in the air. Then, and only then, will I head over to the launch site and examine the surroundings. Make sure a lot of people aren't around. Bear in mind critical rules established by the FAA and apply these rules or apply that knowledge whether I'm flying recreationally or commercially. You can't fly any higher than 400 feet in the air. You cannot fly at night. No flying over people. No controlling the aircraft while you're in a moving vehicle. No flying within restricted airspace. And no flying within 5 miles of an operating airport. To ensure you're not in restricted airspace, there are a few iOS and Android apps that read your location. They take a GPS mark of where you are and inform you if flying is allowed. So that's the easiest way to do it. You can also go to your local airport and get an airspace chart. Some drone manufacturers have already built circuitry into the drone that will keep a drone on the ground if it's in a restricted location. So after all that, my last couple steps are to ensure that my drone has a strong GPS signal, because if anything goes wrong and I lose signal, I lose connection to the drone, I want it to return to home automatically, which the drone will do. I have to calibrate the drone so all its compasses are correct for north, south, east, and west. And then I put the drone down on a level surface and get ready to launch it. This might sound like a ton of stuff to know, but it's important to do all this stuff, and it keeps you safe and keeps your drone hopefully from crashing. Especially because anyone and everyone these days thinks that drones are cool, and they are. But right now, there's so little understanding of the rules I mentioned before that incidents involving drones and airplanes are increasing, and the FAA is trying to keep the skies safe. Unfortunately, this means that they're cracking down quite a bit too. I'm going to give you a quick recap of some of the footage that you saw as I was ranting about the FAA and going on. But the first shot was a slowed down view of a seagull flying underneath the drone on one of the docks at Hingham's Landing in Hingham, Massachusetts. In the next clip, it was a shot taken from Jake's restaurant over in Hull, and you can see the carousel in Hull and then some of the Atlantic Ocean across the way. This was taken from the edge of the inlet, which backs up to World's End Reservation and is on the Commerce side of the strip that is the peninsula that is Hull. The next thing that you'll see is the boat ramp that I went down to in Hingham just to examine the conditions, and this is what got me thinking about doing a flight over the ice in Hingham Harbor. If you looked at that, you could see out the front window of the Mini that the ice has encroached all the way up on the ramp. Then I went right into the visuals of the ice, and you can see a clear line where it breaks into regular water and then frozen salt water. This is Hingham Harbor, so it's a harbor with a few islands in it, and there's a clear line where the ice is and where the water is still running. Another video that's in there is downtown Hingham. Hingham was established in 1635, and I did a view from downtown Hingham just up in the air to where the water is in the harbor. When you see the harbor in the first clip, that's where I was flying today. This video, video clip that you see of Hingham, was taken earlier this fall, so the water hadn't frozen, but it's a nice view over the town itself. Then there's another view from Jake's again, back down in Hull. Then I took a clip of the center of Hingham, which is further into town. It's a few miles away from the water, and it's just a picture where the town green is, and it just shows a circular view of the town. There's another one of Jake's, and this is the clip where the landing shows you, I think it's right around the 4-minute and 40-second mark of the video, if you want to go scroll back to that, shows you how windy it was, and the drone moves back and forth in the breeze, and you can see the shadow on the pavement moving back and forth. And then there are a couple more Hingham Harbor flights where I'm looking down at the ice or I'm looking out over the ice and the docks. It was fun. It was a lot of fun today, and just wanted to share that with you. The last piece, which if you scroll ahead, or if we're at that point right now, by about 7 minutes and 50 seconds into this video, you'll see the asphalt where I landed right next to the car. And that's about it. So, thanks again for watching this episode of With Jeff. I'm Jeff. We put out new videos once or twice a week, and we do some mini journeys and mini videos, as well as full-on entertaining interviews with people who are doing fun things in their free time. We're going to get to a golf simulator. We're going to talk to some people from Orange Theory, and we're going to do a lot of other stuff. If you have ideas for the show, please get in touch. Go to withjeff.com or hit me up on Twitter @JeffCutler. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.